All right, good morning. Wanted to comment. I was talking to my Sci-fi brothers in South Florida, and also a real cool comic book owner, Cosmic Comics, Ira, up there in Baltimore. And I was thinking, and I got a chance to talk to a writer that I really admire, Maurice. Gosh, I can't remember his name. Golly. All right, Maurice. He writes Falcon, and or he wrote Falcon for Marvel, and he just informed me that the comic book was canceled, and mostly because a lot of people didn't subscribe to it, and I had bought like a bunch of issue ones from the discount rack. Because they didn't sell at my store, but my demographics at my store is really not, I don't know what my demographics are, to tell you the truth, because they're the only store in this area, and I live in a predominantly black and Latino town, but there was a lot of comic books unsold, and I went to WakandaCon. I saw two comic book stores. Two stores. One was a comic book store that had a couple of comic books stores in Chicago, and they had one in the South Side, which is the black section of Chicago. And another store was an African bookstore, and they had everything. Sci-fi is kind of like my favorite store. They had sci-fi, they had games, they had the toys, they had comic books, they had sci-fi books, you name it, it was there. And both of those stores had comic books that I don't see in my store. And I'm like, yo, I went to my store, and I shall remain nameless for right now, and I asked them, I said, yo, where's the Black Panther comic books? Because, I mean, I get them, and I subscribe, so I get them out, they pull them for me. But I was like, yo, on the shelf, there was no Falcon, there's no Luke Cage, there's no Black Panther. And there's like 3 Black Panther comic books out. And he said, yeah, they sell out. And I'm saying, well, damn, if they sell out, then you should definitely have some extra ones. So I don't know. I'm just venting right now. I think a couple of things. One, I think we may need to visit having a black section in the comic book store. You know, not only, you know, to have them within the regular alphabet, but a black interest section. One of the things I liked about Second and Charles, and I liked about what I saw from the African bookstore, is they had like all of the comic books that I would like in one section. You know what I'm saying? Now, there's nothing wrong with, you know, getting, you know, I like Star Wars. You know, I like Planet of the Apes. I get that. I may read some Marvel stuff. But if Buffy is being written by Erica Alexander, the next one, and they got a black Slayer, I want to read that. Throw that in there. If The Weeknd, Starboy, is coming up with a comic book, I want to read that. Black is a story about black kids, you know, or what if black people were the only ones that have superpowers? Okay, I want to read that. It's black interest, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. They do it in Barnes & Noble. They did it in Borders. Borders did it a little bit better than Barnes & Noble. They had African-American section. I think there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I know we as sci-fi writers want a black sci-fi section. And I think the same thing should exist in, say, Barnes & Noble. I mean, comic book stores, as well as even Diamond, the catalog. So that's my rant for today. I think it would help Erica's other book, Concrete Park. I think it would help books like Giles, something like Falcon. Falcon's is hot. Falcon, he gave up the Captain America shield, right? And said, I'm going back to being Falcon. And he didn't save America anymore. He went into Chicago and tried to stop gang violence. That's not even, you know, those are crimes. Those are those are things happening. People are killing each other, but it doesn't even seem like it's saving the world. It's stopping a black issue. Then the second issue, he goes to Brooklyn and starts fighting vampires in Brooklyn, which is a black movie written by Charlie Murphy, acted by Eddie Murphy, and he's teamed up with Blade. And he's got a crush on Misty Knight. And I'm saying, oh, well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This is a beautiful thing because in Marvel, the comic books, all the characters are in Marvel. It's not like the movies where X-Men and Fantastic Four and Avengers are all owned by different people, so you can't really have crossovers. And the actor that played Blade is too old looking to play an immortal, somebody that doesn't age. So they kind of got to get a new Blade because Sticky Fingers ain't acting anymore. I don't know what he's doing. So he played Blade in the TV show. But in the comic books, Black Panther and the Crew was kind of the first ones to get me. I didn't put Black Panther up there because I felt that, that was more of a the mainstream comic book universe, okay? I don't know what Coates is doing. I give him props. But Black Panther and the Crew was written by another professor out of Baltimore that he's friends with, and she really did a good job. But in Black Panther and the Crew, they hook up with, first is Storm coming to Harlem. Okay, there we have it. And then they find Luke Cage. They hook up with Miles Morales. Even Blade comes in there. The nurse, the black nurse, because in the original comic book, Rosario Dawson's character was played by is a white character, but in the comic books they made her Latina, so that works. And in the comic book Black Panther and the Crew, she's also Latina, so that is beautiful. I don't know why that comic book didn't do good. I was joking, and I still feel it, that all these fanboys drawing these voluptuous women, beautiful superheroes, they're scantily clad, and then we get damn near the most attractive actress to ever play a superhero, Misty Knight, okay? Oh, I'm gonna give it to her over Halle Berry and Storm. You know what I'm saying? Holly's there, but Simone Mystic, she looked better than Storm, all right? Playing Misty Knight, okay? And she looks horrible on the cover of the comic book. I don't know who the hell they got on there. It looked like a man, okay? How the hell you expect the comic books to sell when you take a sexy, beautiful African woman and make her look like a man on a comic book and then complain that the comic book didn't sell? And you got women looking better than their actresses on the covers of other comic books, but I'm not going to, call them out, but that's just the reality, you know what I'm saying? So that's that. I think, Starboy is a very good cyberpunk, like we used to like to call it, story. And, of course, Luke Cage. A lot of people was happy that Luke Cage came back, and I think that one did pretty good, but shoot, black people get things at, I guess, CP time, colored people, Caribbean people, whatever you want to call it, time, and you need to keep those books up on the shelf because they're going to sell after they come out. So you get the comic book, keep them on the shelves. Get the trade, keep the trade on the shelf. This is my advice to the comic book stores, because Black Panther and Luke Cage are hot commodities. And all of the descendants, and meaning that after this Black Panther came out, we should have faith in all black comic book stories, all right? We should not be, and put some old issues of Static Shock up there. Dig some stuff out that you think is good. Let the store owners or the clientele who's African American or hip hop, urban, whatever you want to call it, let them come up with a section and just put it there. Staff picks, something like that. So I think we should have a black section in the comic book store. It may help with these books because they're hot. Put Lando Calrissian in there. He just got a new comic book. And these are the things I would buy. I would leave with like 8 comic books. You know what I'm saying? I'd get me a Falcon, Starboy, Black, You know, and Black has a follow-up because one of the little girls in the story, she gets her own follow-up stories. So I get that too. I buy me a Buffy. I don't even read Buffy, but I get Buffy. So, and I don't think my buying trends are any different than anybody else's. So I think we're missing an opportunity here, folks. All right, that's it. I'm out. Peace.